I think everyone who tuned in was glad that we did it because this was a dramatic victory, much like yesterday. This time you had to defend a late lead. What was going through your mind and all of the players when that final out was recorded in the bottom of the seventh?
That we've been there before. And, we're playing a really good team over there. They don't make many mistakes. They don't give you too many opportunities. The ones you have to cash in. But, I told those guys how proud I was of them because they knew what they were capable of when we started 0-2. And they knew in that seventh inning that they had to buckle down and get it. And I knew we had the right guy out on the mound, and that was Josh Ullery. Kudos to all those guys and our seniors especially because they've worked so hard. And, they wanted this, and we had to scratch and claw to get it. But baby, we got it. And, 1992 is a long time ago. So they're pretty happy right now.
I talked to you before this season began, and I know it started a little bit later than expected for your team. But you told me at that time that these guys are sick of seeing that 92 banner, and they had actually set out a couple years ago to accomplish this. They didn't get that chance last year, but it seemed like it was a singular focus this year. So how does it feel now for these guys to finally see that there will be a new banner and that what they set out to do, at least to this extent, has been accomplished?
Just excitement. I mean, just seeing it in their eyes and the hugs and everything else, and knowing that, they had a great career in all their sports, and and a lot of them, were on that football team that did really well, and basketball's been outstanding in the playoffs, and they wanted to do something in baseball, and for a lot of them, it's their last sport of their career. Some won't play after, high school, some will. But the bottom line is the experience of it all is something they'll never forget. And believe me, they didn't want to see that 92 anymore. I talked about that enough and what that experience and feeling would be when you won a section title. And I'm feeling it right now for them, but now they know that feeling. And just I couldn't be more happier for them.
I know that there's some people that believe momentum is a very real thing in baseball. Others that say it's only as good as the pitcher that you face the next day. But did you feel as though your team had an extra pep in their step today after that come from behind victory?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we were loose. I mean, the bus ride down, everybody was focused, but we were just, talking some baseball. And when we got here, it was their senior day, so we had to kind of wait around a little bit. But we have a veteran team, and even when the situations that occurred in the game, and we had Jonathan Hugas who runs so well, but he just happened to trip over the third base bag, and that would have been such a big insurance run at the time. But they never blink. They don't, because we've been there before, and I think that's the biggest thing, Sean, is when you've been there before and been in those situations before, then they're easier to pull out, and nothing's easy, but, they have the confidence to do it. And they're not done yet. They want to obviously make some noise as we move forward.
A guy that you mentioned before, you would not rather have anyone else on the mound than Josh Ullery. He was terrific as a pitcher and a hitter today. He reached in all four of his plate appearances. First, we'll talk about the pitching. What stood out about his effort today?
Well, he just, he can go out there and throw. I mean, he was only, I think, at 50 pitches in maybe the fifth inning, my assistant coach told me. And what stood out to me is he's always around the strike zone. He throws all three pitches for strikes. He keeps the hitters off balance. He gets ground balls. He pitches to contact. Those are all things that coaches preach, and they want to see, out of pitchers. You don't have to strike everybody out, and he just does a great job of it. And honestly, to be honest, I could have taken either Ullery or Kuntz out there today because they've both been tremendous for us all season long, including Hood, who pitched real well last week. So I don't want to discount them, but Ullery out there, I had the utmost confidence that he was going to keep us at least in the game till the end, and he did.
And his ability at the plate. He gets on all four times. He had a double, he had a single, drew a walk. It was intentionally walked in the seventh. So he gets on base, and then a couple of times it was Ryan Hood who brought him in. That combination was dynamite today. And I know that they've been very good all season, but what in particular stood out about their effort at the plate? Well,
I mean, Hoodie sometimes, he gets too selective at the plate. And, we just keep preaching to him, get a pitch you can drive. You're a big, strong kid, drive the ball, strong top hand, and he really did that today. The last at bat with Ullery up there, I had thought if I bunted, there'd be a chance that they would walk Ullery, but at the same time, Hood was batting behind him. Hood was having a big day, and I thought we'll take our chances with that. And it didn't work out, but the bottom line is those two really stepped up, and I moved Hoodie up to that spot today because of the way he's been hitting the ball hard, line drives, hard on the ground, which we preach. But Josh Eulery, he's obviously a UPJ commit. He committed prior to the season, and I think it was one of those things where he just thought to himself, I'm just going to go out there and play. And he's just had really just a tremendous season all over, defensively, offensively, and pitching. He's one of the leaders in the WPIL in hitting, in the top 5, I believe, at last I checked. Again, just feeling of section title to these kids right now. They are just so excited.
Do you still have Southmoreland?
We do tomorrow. Tomorrow's senior day, and I told them we're going to take the section title home to Derry, and we're going to have senior day tomorrow against Southmoreland.
Coach, enjoy that, and certainly I know that this was a big bucket list item for this team, but you still have more work to do in the playoffs. I'm sure that will be something that everyone looks forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to say my son Hayden's with me here, and he's been the bat boy, and he was the first one out there with the water. He told me before the inning, Sean, that when we win, I'm going to get Josh with the water. And I said, hey, bud, calm down for a second here. We didn't win this thing yet. But I do want to say hello to my mother, who she knows how bad I've been trying to work with these guys to get this back, to a section title, and how much that I care about coaching at Derry and these kids. And I know she's ecstatic right now that we won as well. She follows every kid all the time. And then my wife, Beth at home too, that I know is listening as well. All the former players that have texted me and called me all week long, Coach Espo standing right here taking pictures or whatever he's doing. Guys like Ryan DeMary and my assistant coach Tommy Kelly and those guys. I just want to thank them for all the support. Tracy Smeltzer back at the school. I could go on and on, I would. But the bottom line is our support has been just absolutely tremendous. Brett Miller as well.
You got to at least shout out your brother, right?
Well, listen, I was going to say this. When my brother was a senior, and he hates to hear this, and I know you've heard this story. We had a game just like this at home, and we were 1 out away, Sean, 1 out away, and it took forever to get that last out, and we didn't happen to get it, and we lost the game. And I know deep down Dan is pumped up right now that we were able to do this, so a shout out to him as well for sure.
Coach, thank you so much, and congratulations once
Sean.
again.
Appreciate it.
That's John Flickinger, the head coach for the Trojans.